Hundreds of residents logged on to a virtual meeting to hear public safety officials address the residents of Montgomery Village about safety in their community. The meeting was organized by Craig Rice, the council representative for the community.
I was actually on a fire ride-along with Kingsview Station in Germantown.
Councilmember Rice was joined by 6th District Commander Captain Michael Ward, Sheriff Darren Popkin, Fire Chief Scott Goldstein, and State's Attorney John McCarthy. The leaders outlined the work of their respective offices and highlighted some of the key issues the community faces. Captain Ward says theft from unlocked cars continues to be the most problematic crime for the area.
This is a constant message that we've been putting out to the public about locking vehicles, not leaving items in it that could be stolen, not leaving the keys for one car in the other car, and then not locking it. And it seems to be a message that it's a struggle for us to express to the community where we can put an end to this activity. It's been going on for a very long time. For the criminals that participate in this type of activity, it's almost like going to a buffet where they'll just go to a neighborhood and just go down the line of cars and look for the ones that are unlocked and see what's in there that they can take. It used to be just loose change, but these days we find people leaving garage door openers and, as I referenced a minute ago, keys for one car in the other car. And then we have not just a theft from auto, but we also have an actual stolen vehicle.
Fire Chief Scott Goldstein provided important information for residents on Maryland's new residential smoke alarm law. If you haven't done so, it's time to get rid of those old 9-volt battery smoke alarms.
We used to talk about change your clock, change your battery. No longer should you be changing the battery on your smoke alarm. Your smoke alarm must be equipped with a 10-year battery. That battery is good for the entire life of the smoke alarm. Think about that. You're a fifth grader, you have somebody who's older than a fifth grader, that smoke alarm needs to be younger than they are.
All of the county's public safety agencies have been fully operational during the COVID-19 crisis, including the Sheriff's Office, which oversees the county's Family Justice Center, the central hub for domestic violence services in Montgomery County. Sheriff Darren Popkin told viewers that the case level and severity of domestic violence incidents has increased since the pandemic began.
So what we were able to do is set up some resource information on the FJC website, Family Justice Center website. There is often for those people who were at home and their spouses were at home, and unfortunately there was some family violence, it was very, very difficult for someone to get away and call 911 or to get away and actually come to the Family Justice Center and report some of this potential problems. So we were able to, on an ad campaign, create a safe at Montgomery County MD.gov website, an email address for those for emergency purposes. We ended up collaborating with the police department, state's attorney's office, and County Executive Elrich's office to provide information for what to do while you were in a COVID-19 lockdown, but you were not safe.
Montgomery County State's Attorney John McCarthy made a specific plea for residents to pay attention to any sign that a child might be in danger.
I remain concerned about a population that I think we are not learning about. How do we learn about abuse against children in our community? Typically from teachers and counselors. I will tell you our numbers of complaints for child abuse are down. I don't think child abuse is down. I think it's hidden from us. I think that maybe the charge to anybody listening to this is we really have to be vigilant looking in our community to the children in our community who are much more isolated than they typically are, and the typical reporters, we don't have access to them right now.
Questions during the meeting range from how to receive free smoke alarms.
Go to 311, request MCFRS to come out and do a home safety check.
To how law enforcement can better engage with the community.
With the perception of police, and specifically with people of color, what are you doing to ensure that when it comes to dealing with a community that is primarily a community of color, you can establish a better working relationship understanding that what they're seeing on TV and sometimes what they're experiencing in their communities is not always a positive one.
At least there's large misunderstandings of what my profession is actually about. I think there's a failure for us to communicate who we are, what we do, and most importantly, why we do it. I can tell you behind every man and woman who enters this profession is a person that is deeply committed to risking their life to help other people. And you don't hear that too often. And I can't quite place my finger on why. But we're working every single day to educate our public on who we are, what we actually do, and most importantly, I think why we do it.
To view the entire discussion, you can visit the Council's Facebook page. The meeting is also available on YouTube.